Hi, I am Radar. How may I help you today? You can start by selecting a goal that you want to achieve.
Hello, welcome to a demo for one of the many functionalities of Radar. In this demo, we will see Radar handling foils. Briefly, a foil can be considered as an output of interest that questions the given output. For this plan that Radar generated, in order to add a foil, we click on Add Foil.
Have another idea for your plan? You can start by adding actions to your foil by using the drop-down list. Or you can also use my latest speech interface.
As Radar mentioned, we have a couple of ways with which we can add actions. We can either use the drop-down list to select our actions, or we could use the natural language interface. In order to use the natural language interface, actions need to be explicitly spoken. Now let us see how to use this interface. As you can see, the present plan is populated over here. For example, if we want to replace the first action, Contact Media Fire Chief, with another action, Contact Media Transport Chief, we can do so by the speech interface. We can frame this replacement in the form of a question that goes, why Contact Media Fire Chief instead of Contact Media Transport Chief? So we start by clicking the Start button. Why Contact Media Fire Chief instead of Contact Media Transport Chief? And then we click the Stop button. We get the action transcript over here. So this is the action that we wanted. And then we click this OK so to replace this particular action into the grid stack. As you can see, it has been replaced. Similarly, we can do this for actions that are not present in the plan. So this is how we use the natural language interface. In this particular setting, Radar tries to refute foils that raise from an incorrect human model. For example, send social media. This is an action that is nothing but informing the social media. The human might think that this action comes between search casualties and address media fire chief. But the human doesn't know that in actuality, the action send social media actually obstructs address media fire chief, in the sense that send social media has a delete effect on one of the preconditions of address media fire chief. Let us say that we give a partial foil with two actions, send social media and address media fire chief. Let us say that this is our partial foil. Now, in order to get the explanation for this foil, we need to click on Foil Explanation. Here, Radar takes the human's model and tries to search in the space of models to find the model in which this partial foil cannot be completed. As proving unsolvability is a time-taking process, we use the fast downward planner with the HM heuristic and a timeout of 10 seconds to prove that the partial foil cannot be completed in a particular model. And the assumption here is that if the planner searches for more than 10 seconds, there actually exists a plan that completes the foil. So this way, we actually know what are the incorrect assumptions that are made in the human's model that gave rise to this foil. So here we can see that Send social media has delete effect, no social media. So this means that send social media has a delete effect on one of the preconditions on of address media file chief, and hence this partial foil is incomplete in the robots model. So we can choose to update our models by clicking on the checkbox and click on update models. Once we update our model, we can actually ask radar to find the closest plan to this partial foil. This partial foil is somewhat treated as a user preference to generate plans that might not be optimal but are expected. So we use a soft compilation method to achieve this.
Here is a plan that is the closest to your foil. Hope this satisfies you.
Yeah, so the soft compilation method actually accounts for the observations in the partial foil and also relaxes their usage so as to satisfy completion and user preference. So here you can see that instead of making the fire chief to contact media, it makes the medi chief to contact media, so as to satisfy addressing the media and sending information to the social media. So this is kind of a costly plan, but uh, uh, radar tries to uh, uh, give what the user prefers. So in the future, radar is also trying to develop its diverse planning abilities so as to satisfy a wide range of user preferences. Till then, radar says bye and thank you for watching this demo.